Hello everyone. This two-part video is about patent families. In part 1, we'll see what a patent family is and how the family is built. Then in part 2, we'll look at the ways to display and download patent family information. So let's get started. The term patent family is widely used, but it has no single universal definition. Broadly speaking, a patent family is a set of patents obtained across multiple countries to protect the same invention, basically the same patent in different countries. But you would also expect a patent family to include different levels of publication for the same patent within a country, such as a published application and the granted patent version, or patents that are really different embodiments or modifications of the original patent, such as divisionals, continuations in part, or what's called a patent of addition. And a patent family may also be understood to include all patents that cite to one or more of the same applications as priorities, depending on the database. So, what is a priority in patent terms? When a patent application is filed, the applicant can cite to one or more of their own earlier applications as priority in order to claim an earlier date for prior art protection. So, if an inventor files an application and it turns out that some other party has published this same idea, then the inventor may overcome that problem if they can cite an even earlier application that the inventor had filed that contained this same inventive idea. And it's said that the inventor claims that earlier application as priority. The earlier application need not be identical to the new one. The point is that it's similar enough in relevant part to claim an earlier priority on that aspect of the new application. Because of that similarity, that continuity of an idea shared across the patents, it makes sense that many patent databases will use shared priority numbers as a basis for grouping together a patent family. And the way they do that will depend on the database. In Dialog, the three main sources of patent family information are Derwent World Patents Index, the Fulltext patent databases. Dialog has 31 of them for different countries and patenting authorities, and Inpadoc. These aren't listed in any special order of what's better for patent family information because that will depend on what kind of information you're looking for. But I'll start with Derwent because in cases where the patent families are different across the databases, the Derwent family is likely to be the smallest and most specific, while Inpadoc will be the broadest, with the full text databases somewhere in between. And we'll see why. Derwent World Patents Index has families that are created manually by subject specialists at Derwent, who review each new patent publication and put them into groups that can all be described using the same abstract that was created by Derwent for the initial or basic patent in that family. Derwent has referred to their family groups as equivalent patents. This tends to result in a smaller, more restricted patent family than you might find in databases that use an algorithm based on shared priorities. Although, there are times when Derwent's method may add some patents to the family that would be missed by the algorithms in other databases. Here, for example, Derwent found that this Mexico patent is actually the same invention as all these other patents, so they put it in the same family, even though it does not cite any priority applications found in the rest of the family. You don't see this very often, but it can be a potential advantage of the manual family creation done by Derwent. In the patent's full text databases, patent families are created automatically using a computer algorithm based on shared priority data. The documentation says that they have two kinds of families: the main family, which are the same patent applied for in different countries, and also the extended family, described as patents related directly or indirectly by their cited priorities. This can result in a family bigger than Derwent's because a shared priority doesn't have to mean that the patents are exact copies of each other. Inpadoc is the database to use if you want to find all of the patents related to a given patent. The Inpadoc algorithm looks at all applications cited as priority as well as the application number, and it will join in one family all other patents that share even one of those priorities, even if the patents also cite other priorities that are different. The result is a broad and inclusive group that Inpadoc calls the complete patent family. Within the complete patent family, Inpadoc also provides an EPO simple family identifier for individual patents, which tells you which patents in the family share the exact same priority information. So within a complete Inpadoc family, you might find multiple subgroups of EPO simple families. Let's see how this works using an example. This is patent number US 5 million. It's about a way to use a genetically modified version of E. coli bacteria in order to produce ethanol for fuel. So, an interesting idea. This slide shows the Derwent family for this patent next to the family from U.S. Patents Fulltext. Derwent shows 8 family members, while the Fulltext database has 10. And actually, it turns out this Brazil patent is really for something else and doesn't belong there. I have some theories about how it got in there, but in short, it seems like human error. I suppose that might be a downside to having the family created by humans, but it is not a common issue at all in Derwent. So the Derwent family really has just 7 patents, and the Fulltext database adds these 3 additional patents from Korea, the US, and Argentina. If we look at the priority numbers for US 5 million, and then for the Korea and Argentina patents, we see in all 3 cases it's the same 2 numbers, the ones ending in 2062 and 9099. So these patents are similar enough that I believe Derwent would have put them in the same family, except that Derwent doesn't have any record for these patents. They do have Korea and Argentina patents, but not as many as the Fulltext families draw from. So for these 2 patents, the Fulltext family is bigger due to coverage limitations in Derwent. In the case of US 5028539, there's a different reason why the Fulltext database includes it in the family with US 5 million, while Derwent does not. This patent does share one priority with US 5 million, namely the one that ends in 9099. But it does not share US 5 million's other priority, ending in 2062. So they're going to be similar patents, sharing at least part of the same technology, but they're not exactly the same. So when Derwent looked at them, the specialist at Derwent decided that they're not alike enough to be in the same family. So Derwent split off US 5028539 into its own family with a different abstract. But in US Patents Fulltext, the shared priority was enough to put these 2 patents in the same family. Finally, there's Inpadoc, and here it gets interesting, because instead of 7 or 8 family members, or 10 as in the Fulltext database, the Inpadoc family has 82 patents. And here's how that happens. We've seen that US 5 million cites 2 applications as priority, so Inpadoc will start by including in the family anything else that cites either of those as priority. And just to demonstrate what that does, we can identify those patents by doing a search for the 2 priorities in the priority number or PRN field, like this. And that gets 21 hits, already more than the 10 patents in the US Fulltext family, but here's what happens next in Inpadoc. Inpadoc will take the 21 records that cite the priorities from US 5 million and look to the priorities found in each of those records. And if we look at just this first one, we see that it cites 9 applications as priority, including both 2062 and 9099, but also 7 others. And to demonstrate, if we search on all of those 9 priority numbers, like this, now we get 49 results. And that's just from searching the priorities on this first record of the 21 that cited one of the original priorities. This second result is similar to what we just did, and this third one actually cites 11 priority numbers. So Inpadoc will go ahead and search on all of those. So you can see how, with this process of multiple iterations of priority number searching, Inpadoc finds not just immediate relatives, but also relatives of relatives, and in this way, Inpadoc gathered a total of 82 family members. To be clear, there are many times when you'll find that the patent family is exactly the same, or nearly the same, across the databases. In fact, that's usually the case, so you needn't worry that the Inpadoc family is always going to be huge. I'm just using this example to show you how the family building works. The cases where the family size is most likely to increase dramatically in Inpadoc are where the family includes one or more patents like this one, where there are more than just a few priorities listed. Because with each priority, the algorithm is going to grow the family out exponentially in the Inpadoc complete family. In the end, the important thing is to know what you're looking for. At the help desk, we listen carefully to what the searcher says, and if they tell me they want the patents that are equivalent, I'm thinking they may want to stick with Derwent, or else do the Inpadoc search, then look within the Inpadoc record for only the relevant EPO simple family group. But if someone tells me they want all the patents that are related, then they probably want the complete Inpadoc family. If they want something in between, or they're not really sure, we'll talk about it. And it may be that the approach used in the patent Fulltext databases is the right choice for them. So that's it. We've talked about what a patent family is, and we've had a look under the hood at how those patent families are created. I hope this is helpful for you in understanding patent families and in making the choices that will best suit your needs for a given purpose when you're searching for patent families on Dialog. In Part 2 of Patent Families, we'll look at the options for displaying and downloading patent family information on Dialog. Meanwhile, here are some links to additional information, and if you have any questions or would like some help, please feel free to call the help desk at these numbers, or you can email us at customer@dialog.com. Thanks for using Dialog, and enjoy the rest of your day.